What is going on, guys? Jay here, and I'm back with a Pokemon Black 2 White 2 Wi-Fi battle. And this is a Ubers battle, my very first Ubers battle up against Nexes. I wanted to battle a friend before I decided to battle strangers because this was my very first Ubers battle. And yeah. Also, before anyone says anything about how many legendary Pokemon I have, please keep in mind that this is a Ubers battle, and pretty much the only Pokemon that you see in Ubers are legendary Pokemon, aside from things like Fortress, Ferrothorn, and other Uber Pokemon that aren't legendary, like Excadrill, Blaziken, Garchomp, and stuff like that. But anyway, looking at the teams real quick, I see that he doesn't have any weather, so I can just go ahead and lay off my Groudon, get up my Sun, and be happy with that. So there's no weather war. I also noticed that I need to get up my Stealth Rock as soon as possible because he does have a multi-scale Lugia over there, and I need to go ahead and break its multi-scale as soon as possible so it won't be taking hits very well as it could if it had the multi-scale. And everything else I could just deal with accordingly. So there's really no problem anymore. Well, not anymore, but there's no problem here. So let's go ahead and jump into the battle. And I'm going to go ahead and lay off my Groudon because, like I said, he doesn't have any kind of weather up over there on his team. So I can just go ahead and lead off my Groudon, as he's going to lead off with his Garchomp. And right off the bat, he's going to go for the Fire Blast. Honestly, I really wanted to switch in my Fortress right there, predict him to go for like the Outrage or the Dragon Claw or something, but I decided no, I need to get up my Stealth Rocks as soon as possible. Thank goodness I didn't switch, because that Fire Blast would have definitely knocked my Fortress down to sturdy range. But now, since I know he's not going to go for another Fire Blast, I'm actually going to switch out and go into my Fortress, as he's actually going to switch out and go into his Mewtwo. Now, I know some Mewtwo's carry Fire Blast, so I'm not going to actually stay in on this Mewtwo because, again, it might have the Fire Blast and it is Sun boosted. So he's going to actually double switch out and go into his own Fortress, as I'm going to double switch out and go into my Giratina, predicting him to go for the Fire Blast. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened right there. But now this Fortress is in here. I want to go ahead and get the Will-O-Wisp off on it so I can break it sturdy. But no, I missed the Will-O-Wisp, so there goes the first miss of the day, guys. Also, spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of hacks in this battle, like a whole lot of misses and stuff. So anyway, I do end up burning him with my second Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunately, I had to spend an extra turn going for the Will-O-Wisp, as he's going to get up his Stealth Rock. Really didn't even matter because he was going to get up the Stealth Rock anyway. But I end up going for the Dragon Tail, and I end up missing the Dragon Tail, which is very unfortunate. So now I have to spend another turn going for the Dragon Tail to shuffle his Fortress out of here and trying to bring in something else to get some Stealth Rock damage on it. And so I do go for the Dragon Tail, and I end up catching I think I catch the Lugia, and that's great because now his multi-scale is broken and I can hit this Lugia pretty hard. But I don't want to stay in on this Lugia because Lugias usually carry Toxic and or Ice Beam. So I want to go ahead and switch it to my Fortress, which is probably the best thing I have to take on this Lugia with, as he actually does end up going for the Toxic. Now I actually predicted him to go for the Ice Beam right there. So I predicted the wrong thing, but in a sense it was still a good switch for me. But he's going to go for the Aero Blast now, as he actually ends up missing the Aero Blast, so that allows me to get off a Rapid Spin and allows me to spin away his hazards. But as you're going to see from this next Aero Blast that he actually does hit, it's not even going to matter because since I am a specially defensive Fortress, it's not going to really do too much damage because, Lugias, wow, what? Lugias are usually defensive, more not really an attacking type Pokemon. I never see it attack anyone anyway. But he's going to actually switch out now, and he's going to go into his Fortress, as I'm actually going to go for the Volt Switch and try to Volt Switch out. I wasn't predicting him to switch right there. I was actually just trying to keep the Lugia's multi-scale from getting. I was trying to keep Lugia from getting back up to multi-scale. But again, I predict wrong. But again, my move was probably the best move I made. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my Specs White Kyurem, and I'm just gonna go for the Draco because I know a Draco Meteor from that range will kill that Fortress. And I know the Fortress can't really do much to me anyway, and he pretty much had to death fodder it because if he switched anything else in on my Specs Draco Meteor, it would have probably died or at least 2-hit KO'd. But now he's gonna switch in his Garchomp. I don't want to stay in because I know I can't take an Outrage. I know I would die. So I'm gonna go into my Lugia. Actually predict him to predict me to go into my Fortress. So I thought he was gonna go for the Fire Blast, but instead he just goes for the Outrage right off the bat, and that's pretty much that. So I'm gonna just let my Lugia take some hits, go for the Reflect, And then I'm gonna probably try to no, I don't roost up right here. I actually go for the Dragon Tail. I do believe after he goes for his last outrage, because he gets the 3-turner, and I'm gonna go for the Dragon Tail. Unfortunately though, his Garchomp does have rough skin, so I will get hurt a little bit, but that's fine because I do have roost and I can easily just roost back up if need be. But now I drag him out into his black Kyurem, and that's bad. That's really, really bad. I noticed first of all my leftovers goes first, so that tells me that he is definitely a slower build. But and then he has leftovers, which lets me know he's a bulkier build, which also kind of lets me know that he probably has the substitute. And instead of me being smart, and I don't know why I didn't, I don't know, I don't know why I went for the roost right there. I guess I just wanted my Lugia back up to multi-scale range, which I do end up getting back to multi-scale range. But at the same time, he's behind the sub, and I can't really do much to his sub except for Dragon Tail it and hope and pray that I can break the sub. But spoiler alert, I don't end up breaking the sub with this Dragon Tail. So he's behind the sub, and I can't do anything about it. But I don't want to take a freeze shock, and the best thing I have to take a freeze shock is my Fortress. So I'm going to switch that in as he's going to go for the freeze shock. And my Fortress takes like little to no damage from it because, you know, Fortress, first of all, resists it. Fortress has nice physical defense, and because I am behind a Reflect. So I am able to take it pretty well. And I figure, you know what, I probably just walled his entire set. So what I'm going to do right here is speed this up, because all I'm trying to do right here is just set up my hazards, because I know for a fact that he can't stop me from setting up my hazards. His Rapid Spinner is dead, so I'm free to just set up all my hazards, all my layers and stuff. And that's pretty much that. Now I only get up one layer of Toxic Spikes, mainly because that's all I really thought I actually needed. So now I'm going to actually switch out and go into my Lugia, because my Lugia is still at multi-scale range. And he goes for the freeze shock, and my goodness, why is this part so fucking slow? Oh yeah, I didn't speed this part up. I don't know why. Kind of forgot to speed it up. But he does end up you know, going for the freeze shock, and now I'm gonna go for the Reflect. And even with my multi-scale and behind the Reflect, I still take so much damage from that freeze shock. That's insane. I literally take half from that, so that's so scary. But at this point, I'm speeding this up mainly because all I'm trying to do right here is roost up to a good amount of HP, trying to get back up to, really trying to get back to the multi-scale, and then trying to go for the Dragon Tail to break his substitute, because I really don't want this black Kyurem behind a substitute, because it's doing too much damage to my team, and I really, really, really don't like it. So I need it not behind the sub. And yeah, and he's just gonna keep on attacking me as I'm gonna get up another Reflect. And I do believe right now I try to go for the Dragon Tail, and I end up missing the Dragon Tail, and he hits me with the freeze shock. I actually live it, and I try to go for the roost, and I don't end up getting the roost because I do end up getting fully paralyzed. So my Lugia is gonna go down, but I am gonna be able to bring in my Groudon, and I am gonna go for the Fire Blast this turn. But unfortunately for me, I am gonna miss the Fire Blast. I probably should have just went for the Earthquake, but I just really wanted to go for the Fire Blast. I don't know why I didn't go for the Earthquake. But I have to switch out because I don't want my Groudon dying to a freeze shock. So I'm going to go into my Fortress as fodder because I don't need it anymore. I set up all the hazards I wanted to set up, and he can't set up any hazards anymore. So he doesn't. I don't need to Rapid Spin anything away because I already did that in the beginning of the battle. So now I'm going to bring in Groudon. He's going to go for another freeze shock, and I'm going to go for a Earthquake. And I do end up getting a critical hit here, and that critical hit is going to be enough for me to break his substitute. So he's not behind the sub anymore, and so now I can easily just let my Groudon die, and I can go ahead and bring in my Specs Kyurem and go ahead and take this thing out with a Draco, provided that he doesn't switch out. But you know, I mean, come on, who's not going to try to keep their Kyurem safe? So he's going to actually switch out. As I switch in my white Kyurem, he's going to switch out his black Kyurem, and he's going to go into his Lugia. I guess it's fodder, because there's really nothing his Lugia can do to me. It's going to be an easy 2-hit KO with his Specs Draco Meteor. I mean, look at that. Jeez, that's just so much power. So, yeah, Draco Meteor, easy 2-hit KO on this Lugia. And so this Lugia is definitely not a problem anymore. So that's really good. But he still has his Garchomp, which I think he's going to actually switch that in. Either that or his Arceus. He switches in his Arceus because he wants to absorb the Toxic Spikes. And yeah, and I can't, and since I'm like -3 or something right now, I can't stay in, so I have to switch out. And I'm gonna go into my Giratina thinking that, okay, his Arceus can't really do much to me, and he's actually gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp, and he's actually gonna miss the Will-O-Wisp, but he's gonna go for a second one, and he's gonna hit it, as I'm gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp of my own, and I'm gonna end up hitting it, fortunately. And we're both pretty much burned. I don't mind the burn. He probably doesn't mind the burn either, just because I am a rest talking set, so I can easily just rest off if I really need to. But I'm just gonna go ahead and go for the Dragon Tail, try to shuffle his team around again, and try to get some more Stealth Rock damage on something. And I end up dragging him back into this Black Kyurem, and I'm like, my goodness, really? Are you kidding me? Why did I drag him into this thing? But I guess it's a good thing. I don't really know. Honestly, I thought right here he was gonna go for the substitute, and if he had went for the substitute, I would have probably lost the battle. Just saying, I would have probably lost. There would have been no way in hell I would have been able to do anything. But he actually goes for the Dragon Claw, so I end up living. the Dragon Claw, but I end up missing the Dragon Tail. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But at the same time, it's good because now that my Giratina is dead, I can switch in my Kyurem and just go for the Specs Draco Meteor and go ahead and take out this what the hell is this thing called? This Kyurem. And so that's pretty much what I do. I didn't think a Dragon Pulse would be able to take it out from that range of health, so I just went ahead and went for the safe Draco Meteor. But now all I have left is Kyurem and my Arceus, and he has what, Garchomp, Mewtwo, and his own Arceus left. So he's gonna bring in his Garchomp. He's gonna go for the Outrage, and that is gonna be a easily dead Kyurem because Kyurem cannot take an Outrage from Garchomp at all. So you know, yeah. But now I'm gonna bring in my Arceus. Pretty much all I have to do now is just live one Outrage, and I can go ahead and get up a Sword Stance and just pretty much take out everything else on his team. So that's what I do. I end up living the Sword Stance. So that's pretty much GG because now I could just Extreme Speed. I do have a Silk Scarf, so my Extreme Speed is boosted. Plus his Stab, so you know, +2 Stab, Extreme Speed from Arceus. You know, it's just too powerful. So he brings in Mewtwo. Thanks to all the entry hazard damage, I will be able to take it out with the Extreme Speed. And then all he has left is his own Arceus, which will die easily to an Extreme Speed. So that would be good game, Nexus. This was like 49 turns, guys. 49 turns. I'm surprised I was able to actually do a commentary on this, or do a narration of this. But if you enjoyed this battle, you know, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And don't forget to check out my last Wi-Fi battle, which will be playing in a couple of seconds against Angel of the Night 91. Go check her out. You know, just click on the link to the video, and then her video will be everything. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Just if you missed the last Wi-Fi battle, just check it out here, and I will see you guys later. Peace.